We are entering many people's favorite 2 weeks of the year. It is no accident that our celebrations and religious customs involving light occur now at the darkest time of the year. Who doesn't look forward to a much-needed break from school or work and some time for relaxation and rejuvenation? The opportunity to connect with family, linger at the dinner table, reminisce with those closest to us. As classes concluded at colleges and universities this week, I watched students in Boston get into Ubers, trains, and buses, excited to be heading home. It will be a time filled with favorite foods, shopping, travel, and perhaps some New Year's resolutions. And yet, for many, this time of year brings incredible stress and anxiety. According to a recent survey by the American Psychological Association, a staggering 89% of adults in the United States report feeling stressed over the holiday season, with 41% of them saying that their stress levels are significantly higher than the rest of the year. This stress is rooted in various factors, from financial pressure, gift giving, crowded gatherings, and a generalized lack of time. However, according to Brittany Wong, psychiatrist, the most frequently cited trigger for holiday stress, anxiety, and depression is family. Is anyone surprised? Wong identifies 7 behaviors that contribute to holiday angst and unwellness that are the primary drivers of family conflict. 1, asking intrusive questions. 2, reviving past grievances or arguments. I should ask you to show your hands, but I won't. 3, remarking about the behavior of another's child or the parental response of another person. 4, urging others to marry, have children, make career moves, or big life changes. 5, treating younger adults as though they are children or adolescents. 6, telling stories about others that embarrass them. 7, arguing over spending and money. Anyone want to add any? In our Torah portion, yes? In our Torah portion this week, too, we have the story of a family mired in internal struggle. And as we view the story of Jacob and his sons and daughter, we witness family tension that plays itself out in a bitter struggle between siblings, a struggle that ultimately tears the family apart. We encounter a family plagued by gossip, envy, and hatred. Jacob's favorite son becomes his family's scapegoat simply because of Joseph's father's favoritism. Joseph's brothers despise him, throw him into a pit, sell him into Egyptian slavery, and then attempt to convince their father, Jacob, that Joseph is dead. Talk about family stress. What is fascinating to me is that this story demonstrates how the virtue of love, a father's love toward his son, is at the root of so much hate. We read in the Torah, Jacob loved Joseph more than all his children, and he made Joseph a coat of many colors. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than them, they hated him and could not even bear to look at him. What irony! Nothing, not even love, is absolute. Let me suggest that our emotions and that of our ancestors are multifaceted because we are multifaceted and never monolithic. In Judaism, this ironic truth goes back to the creation of human beings. There is even a debate as to whether creating humanity was a good idea. And then, once God gave the go-ahead to create human beings, there are multiple opinions about how and where we fit into the world. Our Midrash teaches that human beings were created with 2 hands and 2 pockets, one for each hand. In one pocket, we are told we are the crown of God's creation, the image of God and God's partner on earth. And in the other pocket is the stark reminder that we are not so important after all, that dust, decomposition, and death will surely be our end. When surrounded by family especially, we find ourselves on shaky ground, like Jacob's children, uncertain of our place, wondering which pocket defines us. When we return to our homes and holiday tables, where love is complex, tangled, and fraught with challenges, we struggle. Are we children or adults? What does it mean to be adult children? Moreover, what does it mean to parent adult children? At this time of year, it is love that can push us to extremes. Finding the middle road in our families, in our politics, our religious lives, in our schools and workplaces is much easier said than done. And hindsight is 20/20. With a bit more balance, Jacob would have known better than to outwardly favor one of his children above the others. With a bit more insight, our political leaders might use compromise to work together more meaningfully. With a little more work and devotion to true peace, the deadlock in the Middle East might be resolved not on the extremes by extremists, but via a middle ground. Having mixed emotions in general would be seen as a sign of mental health rather than viewed as a weakness of will or psychological instability. So what do we do when the prospect and presence of family elicits anxiety and vulnerability? First, let us endeavor during the entire year to be as mentally healthy as possible. Second, let us be wary of anyone who gives us a quick, pure, easy-to-acquire answer or solution or unsolicited advice about anything. Third, let us realize that we are neither perfectly good nor wholly evil, and as such, we should avoid demanding or expecting perfection of ourselves or others. Most of us do the very best we can under the circumstances we are given. Finally, let me point out that it was his ability to dream that ultimately saved Joseph. For it was the fact that he was a dreamer himself that allowed him to pass the time in the pit and in jail until others rescued him from certain death. Joseph was also the interpreter of dreams for others, namely for Pharaoh in Egypt, allowing him to rise in power and stature in a land that was not his own. According to the Talmud, a person is shown through dreams the very thoughts of the heart. Dreams are seen as 1/60th the part of prophecy. Dreams are important to each of us, and they can lead us to work out conflicts in our lives that seem impossible to resolve or interpret when we are awake. as we approach the 8 nights of Hanukkah, one after the other, and the light that increases with each passing day of that holiday, let us remember that while life is not simple, we must never cease to dream. Furthermore, we must never give up hope. In the special Haftarah assigned for reading next week during the Festival of Lights, we read, "Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall all people live in peace." Not by might and not by power did Joseph succeed in saving his life and the life of our people. Not only by might and not only by power did the Maccabees gain religious freedom and instill religious pride in Jews of their time all the way up to our own. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit shall we accomplish our goals in the world, our communities, our families, and ultimately in the quiet struggles of our hearts. In this way, peace, shalom, the kind of peace that is completeness, wholeness, tranquility, will prevail. Try to create some shalom, peace, at your family gatherings and holiday tables. And if you fall short of the ideal in the coming days, simply Google family stress at the holidays, and you will find 4 million hits. At least, you are not alone. Shabbat Shalom.